Welcome to yet another episode of The Lamp, brought to you by the Kokomo Lantern. I'm Pat Munsey, publisher of The Lantern, and I have with me today two fine representatives from the United Way serving Howard and Tipton counties, Debbie Norris and Cheryl Graham. And we're going to talk about several things today. We're going to start by talking about the homeless point in time count that the United Way participates in and supports. Debbie, you are a main cog in that wheel, right?
I try to be.
Or machine?
Yeah, I'm the Region 5 Coordinated Entry Lead, so that's part of my duties is as that. But it's run by the, it's sponsored really by the Regional Planning Council on Homelessness here in the area.
Okay.
So.
And what do they do?
So it's a group of people that come together to talk about the homeless, what we can do, what is needed. It covers a region of 5. So it's Howard, Tipton, Miami, Cass, and Wabash counties. So we have representatives from all of those counties. But we just work on the issues with the homeless.
And part of that is the point-in-time census, which takes place at the end of this month.
Right. It takes place January 30th. That's a Thursday. And so it is for people that are literally homeless. And what that means is that they are on the streets, in a tent, in an abandoned building, in a garage, places that don't have basic necessities like water and heat. So, but the point-in-time count is very important. It counts, it's not just Kokomo that does it. It's not just the state of Indiana. This is all across the U.S. They do the point-in-time count the end of the month in January every year. And we collect demographics, to find out, what type of people are homeless all the time. But different information that we collect, and then government funding is based upon those results.
Gotcha.
So it's very important that we reach as many people as possible because it impacts the funding that comes in to Kokomo, to Tipton, to wherever. So it's very important.
Now you said that it's people who are literally homeless. How about the people who are living on a friend's couch for 2 weeks and then on a cousin's couch for another week? Are they also counted in this?
No, they
so that's
are not.
A different kind of homeless.
Yeah, the government does not consider them literally homeless.
Wow.
So now also,
I think they'd beg to differ.
Yeah, they would. But this is people that are in desperate situations. So it's the literally homeless. Also the people that are in all the shelters in town, so they are counted as well. So
now, it can be difficult to reach out to these people, so you try to incentivize them to participate, right?
We do.
And so how do we do that?
So we give them backpacks of supplies, and we're in the process of collecting those supplies right now, but we try and provide them with blankets, warm gloves, hats, basic necessities like basic hygiene items. We usually use sample size hygiene items because
Sure.
you can't carry a lot of weight when you're homeless, right? You're carrying other things too. So, we can always use donations of things to put in those backpacks.
Sure.
Right now, the biggest thing we need are warm gloves. We don't have enough to put in there. We're putting together 100 backpacks. That's the plan right now. So, but we also could use like bottles of water or small snack size items. Hand warmers are very well received by the homeless on the streets, obviously. So it's only the ones that are the literally homeless to get the backpacks. The ones in shelters, their basic needs are taken care of.
Gotcha. So if I want to donate to this, and I'm in a pretty tight frame here, right?
Yes, we are.
How do I do that?
So they can contact me at United Way, or they can bring the supplies by United Way.
So 765-457-4357.
Right. And my extension is 1006.
Right,
so, but if you call the main number, they'll get to me. So, like I said, we're going to put the backpacks together a week from this Thursday. So,
now, do you need help with the counting, or do you have that part set?
I think we're doing okay with the ones to help the count. In Kokomo, there are 3 sites where the homeless people would go. The Kokomo Rescue Mission, and their hours are 11:30 to 6. I think most people know where the mission is, but because they serve meals every day, right? But it's 321 West Mulberry. The other location is CAM, and that's from 8:30 to 4:30. They're at 625 North Union. And then Turning Point. They are also going to do it, they're going to do it from 9 to 4.
And they are 1234 North Cortland.
Correct. correct. Their address is easy to
It
remember.
is, yes.
Yeah,
For my failing memory, I remember
Yeah.
apparently numbers better than names.
It is.
So-
It's very easy to remember them. So, so what happens when they come in to get the backpack of supplies? They're asked a series of questions. Basic demographics, how long they've been homeless. Also what do they need? Can we refer them to somebody else? And then we also do what is called a chat assessment, which if they would like to go into coordinated entry, which tracks all the people that are homeless that want help finding housing. So not everybody that comes to get the PIT may not want to do that. We call it PIT, which is point in time. And but we do the chat, and then with that, that's coordinated entry, and those people are discussed every 2 weeks at a meeting, and we discuss what's the best option for these people. Is there people on that committee? We find out if there's an apartment place that's got openings, because as we all know, housing's hard to find right now.
Sure.
We discuss all those things. So we try and help these people as much as we can. As you know, United Way gives a lot of referrals for a lot of things anyway. So
right.
Yeah.
So do we know about how many people, as of last year, do we have homeless in our community?
Oh yes, we do. So just in coordinated entry, which are only the people that want help finding housing, there's it's close to 80 right now.
Okay.
So, but there is probably another 50 or more that don't need that. Don't want to do that. So, the numbers are always unknown. We have Helping Our Homies is an organization that is very familiar with all the tent cities or the abandoned buildings or whatever that are out there where people are staying, and she will go out the night before on the 29th at night to try and catch those people, because often if you're in a tent, you don't stay there all day, so we're not going to catch them for sure.
Right.
So they'll be going out the 29th, but on the 30th, what they'll be asked is, where did you spend last night? So, and then we just gather some demographic information. And
Sure. So we're fortunate that number's only about 130 right now, but we know from information and referral through United Way, right, Cheryl, that the need or the worry about housing in this community is only growing. In fact, is that not our top concern right now?
It is. It is. And we're not the only ones. I don't want to make it sound like a Kokomo problem. It's a national problem we have right now. People's wages don't meet the cost of housing. And when I went to grade school, they told me you should only spend 30% of your income on housing. And people are spending upwards of 65, 70% of their income just to maintain their housing, which then puts a crunch on everything else. So.
Sure, obviously they're
huge.
going to find a way to get food, but transportation, medication, schooling, all these other things fall by the wayside pretty quick if that percentage is going to housing. So, and we're not going to sit here and say we've got solutions for that. That's a community-wide or even a society-wide problem that needs to be addressed. But this point in time count helps us hit the people that are most at risk right now. So obviously, if you want to help in this cause by donating, 457-4357 will get you hooked up with Debbie, and we can get those donations processed.
there is also a QR code on the United Way website if you would like to donate financially. Blankets are obviously the most expensive thing that we have to buy.
Sure.
So, donations are very welcome, cash donations as well. And I don't want to forget to mention, just because we have a lot of Tipton folks that may see this, we do it in Tipton at Second Blessings Church from noon to 2. So
Very good.
don't wanna forget
Because
that.
just because they're a small community doesn't mean that they don't have
Exactly.
homeless as well. So, all right, very good. Looking forward to getting a firm grasp on that and connecting them with services and some aid. But Cheryl, you're also here for another United Way
Another
program
one.
that's about to kick off that a lot of people should take advantage of as well. And that would be the tax preparation services that United Way's provided for decades now. Right?
Well, decades. I think this is our 15th year.
Okay.
It seems like decades.
It does.
It does. But yes, the free tax preparation program is here. It's kind of our star financial stability program. That's what United Way is about. We're trying to promote financial stability with families and help them become more stable so they can stay in their house, so they can get caught up with their utilities. So part of that is making sure that when they file their taxes, they get all their credits, they get all the deductions that they're entitled to, and then we can save them some money by doing it free. So last year we did 607 returns and brought between state and federal refunds, we brought back over $900,000.
Wow.
So they don't go on vacations, okay? So they're buying their refrigerator, their clothes for their kids, their school supplies.
I mean, it's really a
things
second
that they
Christmas,
need.
you know.
It's usually the only disposable income they'll have for the whole year.
Sure.
So they get to choose. You know, if you're paying 60% or 60% of your income on housing and then you got daycare and gas, after that there's not much left. So you get this money and that's the only money you're going to get to catch up.
I've lived that for many years, yes.
Yeah, seems like it never ends, does it, Pat?
Oh, it got worse. Now I pay instead of getting a refund.
There's
so
some,
yes.
yeah, that's true. I'm still trying to get caught up.
Right. So obviously, you know, doing taxes is not the easiest thing in the world, even with the easy form. If you've got just limited income and don't have a lot of deductions, it's still not. It can be intimidating.
It is, and we do have a product. We do them free for people in person, you know, with the packets, and we can get into that. But we also have an online version. So if you're one of those people that buy TurboTax or Tax Slayer or any of those, we have the free software. So then you don't even have to buy the software.
Yep.
You go to myfreetaxes.com. I use it myself.
I do too.
It's real simple. If you haven't done your taxes before and you want to use our program, I suggest you start there if you have a computer and you're familiar with that at all, because you're not filling out forms. It just asks you questions. Did you do this? Did you do that? Take the, you know, how much did you earn in wages? And you fill in the blanks and then it fills all the forms out.
Right.
So I always encourage people, by the time you do that, you'll have filled out the packet and dropped it off. And so you'd be done and you'd have it all done and you can e-file that. It's all free. The other hitch with that is that free software, because there's a lot of it out there, is you'll do your federal and you'll be coasting and you'll be like, yeah, and hitting that button, I'm going to e-file and I'm going to get my money. And then it says, did you want to file state? And you went, well, heck yeah, I want to file my state. So you hit that button, they go $15.
Oh, if you're.
That's why I switched to this program.
Right. Now that's not this program. That's
no, I'm just saying that's what happens to a lot of.
I've gone down that path many times.
That's why I started using
and
this
I wish
software.
it was just $15.
Yeah, that's how long ago. You're aging me, Pat. Thanks. But anyway, so both your federal and your state e-filing is free. So it's e-filing, myfreetaxes.com. Just go there. Don't buy your software. Get it e-filed. I did hear from the IRS just last week that they are going to start accepting returns on January 27th.
Okay.
So you can start filing. Also, a little bug in everybody's ear: if you file earned income tax credit, don't be itchy for your money, because remember, they don't issue those refunds until the middle of February. So you can file now, but we get tons of calls about that. Why haven't I got my money? Well, if you get earned income, I don't know why. Call your representative.
Right. But don't jump on that too quick, because if you have W-2s coming from more than one employer, you know, they have until the end of January to get it to you. If they're running a little bit behind and you decide that you just can't wait, you may be filing an incomplete tax return. So make sure that you've got all your documents in hand, and the United Way can help you with that. If you come to tax prep, they'll ask you those same questions and try to get to the bottom of, do you have more tax documents that need to be on hand, right? And there is an income limit. Is that right?
For online, it's $72,000. Okay. So you can use that. The only reason there's a limit is because it doesn't provide you with all the forms and things you need, likely, if you make more than that.
Gotcha.
The online version is $66, and so is the in-person version. So now here's the crazy thing: the average income we have for the people that we serve is only $23,000.
Oh my gosh.
So where are all those people? You know, so there's a lot of room to help a lot more people. I don't know what else to do, Pat. And
sure.
So thanks for having us here today to let people know early.
Right.
Don't do those early refunds either. Save your money. You know.
Yes, you don't have to have that money. You know, because if you're doing that, you're paying interest to get that money early. That's money that you won't get, that you need just because you need it now. A little fiscal patience will pay off huge dividends if you can just wait 2 more weeks.
They take a significant percentage out of that.
They do, absolutely. Or even worse, if you're using some of big commercial tax preparers, well, we'll put this on a debit card for you that they underwrite, and that just keeps even more money because they're going to charge you a fee for every transaction on that. So really, if you're looking to get the maximum amount that you can get with the minimum number of fees, 0, this is the way to go. And this is underwritten by a number of different organizations, right? Not just United Way is involved in.
Well, no, I mean, it's a program that is all volunteer. There, I mean, other than United Way staff, we are getting a grant this year from the IRS that's going to help us with staffing because we've been really short staffed. So that's going to hopefully be better. Hopefully we'll get things done a little bit earlier, quicker.
Kokomo? They've been a good.
IU Kokomo, they give us volunteers from some of their accounting classes. We have interns from IUK. If you're looking for an internship, I still have one more space available. Then Ivy Tech is handing out our packets this year, so we've got them, and I think they have the information there about internships as well. We spoke with them. Today I just talked with the Boy Scouts, try to pair up some of their career readiness programming and doing this. So if you're looking for accounting or any kind of business, it'd be helpful to know these things. And it's a skill that when you put it on your resume, it says VITA. And that's a federal program. So it's well recognized in the industries that you'll be in. It's a great thing to put on your resume. The funny thing, another funny question I got today was, well, do you have anything against retirees? I'm like, no. So retirees, if you're looking for something to do, the best thing about volunteering and helping is that you do it on your time. You can do it at home. You don't have to come into the office. And we, this year, are going to be even offering the way to prepare by scanning things in.
Oh, wow.
So we'll even have remote abilities. So like if people don't live in town, I was running into that with some volunteers. They didn't live in town, so it's a real hassle to try to come in here, and especially in the weather and things like that. So we've got some new opportunities. We don't have any minimum. You have to volunteer for this many hours a week. Now you do have to get certified.
Sure.
And that's another thing. It's all free training, again, online on your time when you want to do it. You can do it up to a basic prepare or an advanced prepare. And those are the same certifications you would get anywhere. So once again, you got something really nice to put on a resume.
A marketable skill.
You know, I've been a tax preparer and I was certified to, basic level or advanced level. I prepared taxes. We also have a need for people to come in and look at them. The IRS requires 2 sets of eyes to look at them before we can send them in. So there's double work. So it's almost like doing 1,400 returns.
So let's walk through this process. If I'm a person that wants to take advantage of this program, what's the first thing I do?
The first thing you would do is go to any library in Howard or Tipton County and Ivy Tech this year.
Okay.
And there will be packets right as you walk in. They're yellow manila envelopes. I put a big fancy label on the outside that has all the instructions. And so you open up that package. There's a list of everything in there. Please put these things back in the envelope. There's an interview sheet from the IRS, the same one that all tax preparers use, and you fill it out so we know where your income comes from, any deductions, what your retirement, your Social Security is, how much you pay for daycare, how much you pay for rent. So it's just work your way through the pages. It's not as hard as it sounds. And call us if you have any questions. But people can fill those out right there at the library and give it right back to the desk, or you can take it home and work on it, whatever you want to do. Then once it's turned into the library, we'll pick it up. And then we will look at it and make sure we have everything. If we have any questions or it doesn't make sense, we're going to call you. I think people get worried, like, what are you going to do? I mean, we're going to look at it. We're not just going to go, here, do what they said. We're going to make sure it makes sense.
And this is all confidential, too.
Oh, so. Yes. We are held to the same standards. I mean, you know how the IRS is. So we are held to all the standards that the IRS requires. So, and anybody that would look at your paperwork is certified as a preparer. You can't just come in and help us. You have to be certified. And gone through the training. So anyway, you would do that, and then we have a preparer that is certified either A or B. So that depends on how hard your return is, right? So a B is a basic return or an advanced, and then they have to have the right credentials to be able to do an A or a B. So it goes to certain people that are certified to do your particular type of taxes. Then again, once they're done, another person will look at them and review them. And if at any time we have a question or need additional information, or sometimes if you've come in before, we have a lot of people have come in before, a lot of return people, and we'll look and go, last year you told us this. So those kind of things will pop up too, like what happened to that, or so anyway, that happens, and then it goes in. We'll call you to make an appointment. So we do it kind of backwards, which also flummoxes people.
Sure.
Like I used to go in and talk. Well, you'll come in. You're going to talk to us. You will answer all your questions. So now it's done. We schedule an appointment. You come in, and I do most of those, and I'm gonna go through every line on that return with you. My job is to make sure you understand it. All of your questions are answered. It makes sense to you, and then you'll sign some paperwork and give us permission to e-file them for you. Then once that's completed, then we just e-file them within 3 days. So hopefully this process will take 21 days or less. That's our goal.
Okay.
So.
So obviously slower than if I'm doing it myself, but if I'm not competent or I'm not confident about doing it myself, this is a great alternative here where you're going to have somebody with you every step of the way on this to make sure that it doesn't get screwed up and that you get the return that you need.
Yeah, and that you deserve to get. So yeah, so the volunteers are integral. We could not do this without. We have anywhere around 25 to 35 volunteers.
Wow.
So the more I have, the more taxes I could do,
Absolutely,
right? So
yes.
if you're interested at all, again, just call United Way and ask for me, Cheryl, and I can give you all the information on how to get certified, what that's like. We have video training. Oh, the training's all open book, and I'll give you the test, Pat. You will know what the test is and what the questions are.
Wow, okay.
And then it's open book. So,
cool.
And then actually doing the taxes isn't as hard because the software, once again, is going to take over. Once
So
you put in
there are
everything.
some situations that you don't handle. You don't handle business returns at
No
all.
business returns.
And again, you said 66,000 is the threshold for income for a family or a single, or is it different?
Household, just in the
just
whole
for household, okay.
Oh, and we'll do your kids' taxes. Because I know parents are taking their kids' taxes and paying $200 to get their kids' taxes done.
Gotcha.
So a lot of parents are going, oh, well, why don't I give them to you? Well, I don't know. I mean, give them to
should,
me.
yes.
So they're starting to catch on to that, and then once they see how well we do, then they'll bring theirs the next year usually. And again, these people are dependent on us. A lot of them are seniors on fixed incomes with their Social Security and their retirement. So once again, you got that vulnerable population that this $200, $300 is a lot to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've been at United Way for 30 years and never, ever have I done a program where people are more appreciative. I mean, they're just so thankful. I think a lot of people are intimidated, by the process, by using the computer. And so we bridge all those gaps for them, and they're just completely thrilled.
So what you're hearing today is two very important programs that take place because you donate to United Way serving Howard County and Tipton County. If you ever wondered what happens to the money that you donate or that other people donate and you have decided not to because you didn't know what United Way did, it's stuff like this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are a ridiculous number of things that United Way does on an annual and ongoing basis. Tax preparation and aid to the homeless, just two aspects. There's so many more. If you ever question whether or not that's a worthy donation, let me tell you, and I'm biased because I sit on the board of United Way myself, it is a worthwhile donation. It's tax deductible, and I don't know that there is a better way to see that money magnified to help the community better than United Way. So if you worry about kids who can't eat on the weekend, we've got buddy bags. If you worry about kids that can't read, we've got Imagination Library. If you're worried about other nonprofits in the community and their ability to provide services, we provide grants for that. So the United Way is vital to this community. Cheryl and Debbie are vital parts of United Way. I strongly encourage you that if you don't give to United Way, that you start doing so. And if you do give to United Way, consider giving a little bit more, either of your treasure or of your time and talent, because volunteers are always appreciated at the United Way serving Howard County and Tipton County. Is there anything else that you two would like to add?
I think just to say the packets will be available January 27th.
Okay.
Again, at all the libraries in Howard and Tipton County and Ivy Tech.
Very good. All right, that will take care of another episode of The Lamp. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, be good to each other.